Instagram. Talk about a love-hate relationship, right? Are you a musician who is struggling to grow your Instagram account? Maybe you're trying so many different things but nothing is working. Well, in this video I want to cover some tips that are going to really help you make the most of your Instagram audience and give you some tips on how to grow it. Today I'm going to be sharing my experiences of how I've grown my account from 0 to nearly 1,000 followers in the space of a few months. Before we dive into the tips, I want to take a second to encourage you all to hit that subscribe button and give the video a thumbs up if you find it helpful. So tip number 1 is all around engagement and basically how to go about engaging in the most effective way that is going to make Instagram give your account a massive thumbs up. Now what I like to do is about an hour or so before I post, I'll just go through my newsfeed and I'll just make sure to comment and like and save the images of the people that I follow. What that does is it basically wakes your account up, and for those people it just puts you in front of them. Maybe they'll click on your profile and take a look at what you're doing. And this becomes really important at the time that you post, because you obviously want to make sure that you're putting yourself in front of these people. Then if they click on your profile, they're probably more likely to look at your most recent post. And if that's one that you've only just posted, then that's going to kickstart the engagement for that content. This is also a great time to go after new accounts and to basically make sure that you're getting to a wider audience. But how do you actually go about doing that? So this is where hashtags come in. And hashtags, man, they are a bit of a minefield, but there is like a rule of thumb that I like to actually stick to when it comes to using hashtags and how I find new accounts through hashtags. So we'll go through hashtag strategies in a little bit, but in terms of your engagement first of all and making sure that you're finding new accounts, then what I always do is I go to the hashtags that are most relevant to the post that I create. So I'm a guitar player. The type of music that I play is predominantly kind of blues and rocky stuff. So when I'm looking for accounts who might be interested in my particular content or my page, those are the types of accounts that I'm going to be going for. So I search for hashtags including blues guitar, guitarist, solo guitars, all things that are just really relevant to my page. Now when you search for a hashtag, you'll probably find it's split into two sections. You've got your top and then you've got your newest. So the top posts are just the posts that are performing really well in that particular hashtag. It could be because they're really relevant or because they are getting a lot of engagement. These are often bigger accounts, so it's always worth dropping in a comment or a like on those pages and giving them a follow, but the most recent tab is probably going to get you better results. The most recent tab isn't filtered by performance or by size of account, so it's basically fair game and it's an even playing field for everybody. And this is the best way to find new followers and people who will be interested in your content. So I always go through these and, it's taking a bit of a considered and curated approach. Don't just go and spam loads of accounts. You want to find people who are actually going to be interested in your playing. So if I see somebody who is playing heavy metal and is doing loads of shreddy stuff, then they might not be interested in my content because I'm not that style of guitar player. So it's probably not worth me going after trying to get that person to follow me. However, if there's someone that I feel has a similar taste in music to me or plays in a similar style, then they're probably a person that I want to have around on my account, and they might be somebody that I'm interested in following. So what you should do is you should go to their post, obviously give it a like, and more importantly, comments. Comments. And don't just leave a fire emoji or a really throwaway comment. Try and make it something really meaningful that sets you apart from other people. Start a conversation, compliment them on something in their playing, and do it genuinely. I think it's really important to be genuine. I don't ever leave a comment or like a post that I don't genuinely enjoy. I also don't think it's enough to just like one picture and their most recent picture or post. You need to click on that person's profile and you need to like maybe 3 or 4 of their posts, just because then as they post a new piece of content, you're just going to be one account in a sea of accounts that are giving them likes because they've just posted. So if you comment and if you like multiple posts, and even if you give them a follow, they're going to see that in their feed and in their notifications, and they're going to think, wow, this Chris guy, he seems pretty cool. He's liking a lot of my stuff. I'm going to go and check out his profile. Now let's talk about hashtags, because everybody should be using hashtags in their posts. You can have up to 30 hashtags on any one piece of content. I find the sweet spot to be around 25 to 27, and it's really important to do your research when it comes to hashtags. I see a lot of people going for the generic ones like guitarist, guitar player, guitar, and these are all massive hashtags with millions and millions of posts, so it's going to be pretty impossible for you to rank on those hashtags. Ranking in hashtags is important, so you need to be realistic here and look at your own metrics and find out, how many likes do you get, how many followers do you have, how many engagements do you tend to have on any given post. Then you can start to think about hashtags and which ones you want to target. It's always good to throw in a few of those massive hashtags because you will show up in the most recent posts, and if people are going around and looking for it, then there is a chance that you will show up. But it's really important to find smaller hashtags because those are going to be the ones that have fewer posts, so you have a better chance of ranking. It's really great to do your research here. There are tools online to help you with this, but the best way to do it is just to find accounts similar to yours that are performing really well and just have a look at what hashtags they're using. And I mentioned using 25 to 27, and that's because you can then actually experiment and you can get rid of some and you can add more on future posts because it's good to keep a log of these. So on the point of hashtags, how can you tell if your hashtags are performing well? Well, this is where the analytics in your posts become really, really useful. There is a section in your insights which shows you your hashtag performance by reach. So if we take an example of one of my recent posts, you can see here that I'm performing really well in hashtags compared to home. Home is basically where Instagram is putting your content in the feed for your followers. So the way that this works is that when you post, Instagram shows it to a percentage of your followers, and then if it does well, it will then show it to a few more, and it'll basically build that way. So you want to make sure that obviously people who follow you are basically going to be into your content. This is why it's important, as I mentioned earlier, about making sure that you're targeting the right people when you're looking to gain new followers. But this also gives you insight into whether the hashtags that you're using are actually effective. If your hashtag number is quite low, then it means that you're basically not performing well in the hashtags that you've used. So this is where you need to really think about starting to experiment. Consistency is super important. Instagram needs to know that you're going to be showing up on a regular basis, and it's important for your followers as well. If we take the analogy of your favourite TV show growing up, you used to know what time it would come on. 6 o'clock every weeknight. And people would look forward to it, people would know to expect it. In your insights, it will basically analyse your following and it will give you really, really useful metrics. The most important one is the active times for your followers, and that'll tell you when your followers are most active on the platform. So when you're thinking about when to post, you need to take this into consideration. I live in the UK, and a lot of my followers are in the USA. So if I post at 9 AM UK time, it's going to be the middle of the night in America. So a lot of my followers aren't going to see that post straight away. So you need to think about that sweet spot. Take a look at your demographics. Take a look at where people are in the world and what time they're online. And then try and find a sweet spot that basically encapsulates as many of those people as possible. If you keep up this consistency for a few weeks, you will definitely see really, really good results. And it's really important to just persevere and not get too discouraged. Saving posts is one of the biggest measures for Instagram to determine engagement, and then that is going to determine your reach, because if Instagram sees that that post has high engagement, then it's going to show it to more people. So if you do notice that you are getting a lot of saves on a particular type of content, definitely lean on that if you want to get some good growth. So guys, those are just a few tips that I've been implementing over the last few months. I do want to do a lot more videos in this topic because I feel like there's so much to actually go through. As always guys, thank you so much for watching. Leave a comment down below, drop in your Instagram handle. I would love to go and follow you and check out your content, and I will see you all in the next video.